Hello everyone, this is Dr. Sonam Arora, Assistant Professor, LG Integrated MBA. Welcome you to the second session of Subject Banking and Insurance, Semester 9, Finance Specialization of Integrated MBA Curriculum. So today we are here to discuss about the Indian banking system. In our previous session, we discussed about the banking definition and its function. Today, we are going to discuss Indian banking system. The structure of Indian banking system is divided into three bases. The first one is on the basis of its ownership, the second one is on the basis of its organizational structure, and the third one is on the basis of its function. In today's session, we are focused on the ownership basis. Now, on the basis of ownership, the RBI is the central authority and the bank are divided into two portions. One are the scheduled bank and second one is unscheduled bank. The scheduled bank are further classified into two parts: commercial bank and cooperative bank. Commercial bank are further classified into four parts, that are public sector bank, private sector bank, foreign bank and regional rural bank. Cooperative sector are classified into two parts, urban cooperative and state cooperative. Now have a look at the scheduled bank. So scheduled bank are those banks which are included into the second schedule of Reserve Bank of India Act 1934. Now there are certain conditions to be called as a scheduled bank. The first one is it has a paid up capital and reserve of an aggregate value of not less than 5 lakh of rupees. You can assume that this amount is a very less amount, but you have to go and look it out that the bank module and the regulation is of very old, that is of 1934. Second condition, it satisfies the RBI that its affairs are not being conducted in a manner detrimental to the interest of its depositor. So you cannot deposit your amount anywhere, you cannot invest your amount where RBI is not agree for that. Like you go for a priority sector lending which is compulsory by the RBI for a certain percentage of your business. It means you have to fulfill the conditions of RBI to be a scheduled bank. And the third one is it is a state cooperative bank or a company as defined in section 3 of a Companies Act 1956, or it can be any institution notified by the central government in this behalf, or a corporation or a company. It means a bank can be a company or a corporation or a cooperative society. Now have a look at the public sector bank. So PSBs are those where majority of the shareholding, maximum 51%, is held by the Indian government. After recent mergers, at present there are public sector bank. The number is 12. So before 2013, there are 19 public sector bank, 1 IDBI, SBI and its 6 associate. In 2014, Modi government introduced first set of merger and the second set of merger are introduced in year 2019. This reduced the number of PSBs to the 12, which include 1 SBI and 12 PSB. When we look at it, it is SBI, Punjab National Bank, Bank of Baroda, Central Bank, Union Bank, Bank of India, Indian Bank, Indian Overseas Bank, Central Bank of India, UCO Bank, Bank of Maharashtra and Punjab and Sindh Bank. Thus, finally, at present, we are having 12 public sector banks in India. Now have a look at the private sector bank. When nationalization of bank took place in 1969 and in year 1980, not all the banks were nationalized. The bank which were not nationalized remained private bank. With the introduction of new economic policies in 1991, the RBI issued guidelines in 93, 2001 and in 2014 to give license to the new private bank with a capital introduction of 300 crore. So when you compare it with the bank which are public sector which are scheduled, the amount is 5 lakh. But with the increase of time, this amount go up to the 300 crore. 10 banks were set up after 1993 and another 2 were after 2001 guideline. And 2 were the latest one in 2014, that is Bandhan Bank and IDFC Bank. Some of these private banks are either promoted to the development bank like IDFC and some are converted into NBFC in long run. Now have a look at the foreign bank. Foreign bank are those banks which have their registered and incorporated head office is in a foreign country but have their branch office is in India. So in India, you are able to do business with the help of a branch office or a wholly subsidiary unit. There are very less wholly subsidiary units are in India right now. Most of the foreign banks is in the business of corporate segment, and now they are started moving towards the consumer financing, specifically towards the retail loan segment. Most of the banks which are operating in India are focusing on the consumer financing and follow all the guidelines of RBI, specifically the guideline of a priority sector lending. Some of the example are Citibank, Standard Chartered, HSBC, and many more. Now have a look at the regional rural bank. So as I already said, it is compulsory for the banks to go for a priority sector lending, so that the benefit of a banking sector move towards the agriculture financing. But this is very limited in a long run. So in 1975, RRB were established under the provision of Ordinance promulgated on the 26th September 1975, and the Regional Rural Bank Act was made. So the RRB work upon the cooperative credit structure with the view to enlarge the institutional credit specifically to the agriculture sector. Now this is very important to note here that RRB work under a state limitation. So if you take one example of a Rajasthan Marudhara bank, that bank is limited to the Rajasthan only. It is not able to give loans to the another state. The share capital of RRB is contributed by the Government of India, additional to the state government and the sponsoring public sector bank. So it is necessary that every RRB is sponsored by the state cooperative bank. The ratio is of a 50% for the Government of India, 15% for the state government, and the 35% is given by the sponsored bank. So when we take the example of RRB of a Rajasthan Marudhara bank, the sponsored bank is SBBJ, that is State Bank of Bikaner and Jaipur, which is right now the part of SBI after the merger. There are 43 RRB in India as on April 1, 2020, because the Government of India tried to consolidate these banks, because all of the RRBs are not able to perform very well. So some of the RRBs are consolidated to the state bank, whereas some are converted into mobile banking rather than the branch banking. Let's move to the another one, that is the scheduled cooperative banks. So cooperative banks are those banks in which individuals that have common interest of carrying a particular business by following the principle of cooperation create a society under the Cooperative Societies Act. These banks are totally guided by the RBI. The permission of RBI is very important to start the banking business for these society. The cooperative banks function under the overall supervision of the registrar and cooperative societies of the state, beside the following the guidelines issued by NABARD, which is further guided by the RBI. So thus the structure is that cooperative societies are at the bottom, guided by the NABARD, which NABARD is further guided by the RBI. So scheduled cooperative societies are further classified into the urban cooperative and state cooperative. You can take out the example of a Janta Bank or a Kalupur Bank near about you. Now when we talk about the unscheduled bank, so very importantly, all those banks which are not scheduled come into the category of unscheduled or not scheduled. Non-scheduled bank in India means a banking company as defined in clause C of section 5 of Banking Regulation Act 1949, which is not a scheduled bank. So very openly, any bank not come under the scheduled category comes as unscheduled bank. So previously there are banks like Marwadi Bank, Patel's Bank, which has started giving loan to the people of their community. But when the process of freedom is started, nationalization is started, these banks are totally abandoned from the system. Now they come into the category of informal banking system. At present, there are not a single bank exists as an unscheduled in India. It means to start a banking business in India, a bank must be scheduled under the RBI guideline. So you cannot start your, if you are having a money, you cannot start your business as a banking. First you have to go try to get a license from RBI, and only then you can start your banking business in India. And on next session we are going to discuss about the banking system on the basis of its organizational structure and function. Thank you. Hope to meet you soon.